2AA. Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay.
This is it. This is one of the
toughest.
top 3 out of the 16.
Yeah.
It's
This is
the toughest AA section to pick.
Yeah, this is now worth 10 points.
Yeah, this is why he did it. He goes, oh, well, you get a game right in 2AA, you should get more points.
Yeah, and the quarters are hard to predict in this one as well. So let's get straight to it.
I love it.
6, Chanhassen.
I don't know any of these. You
want to cut me off again?
Yeah, I'll cut you off one more time. I'm just saying, I don't know any of these, so they're kind of, you're saying them, and they're,
okay.
There's 8 in this one, and it's, okay, I know the 1-8, right? Is it EP, Jeff?
I'll read it off, Tony.
God, so difficult.
Number 6, Chanhassen will play number 3, Chaska, on Thursday, the 24th. Yes. Number 7, Shakopee will play Minnetonka.
Hang on. Oh, we're listing them all off, then we'll talk about them. Right? Yep. And then 7, Shock.
7, Shock, Minnetonka, number 2.
Wait a second. Where's Prairie Lake? They beat Tonka.
Holy Family 5, Prairie Lake 4.
What?
Yeah. Yes.
Coaches did not like Prairie Lake.
And then Bloomington Jefferson, the 8.
Yep.
Eden Prairie, the 1.
And that's a new 3-wood for me. Thank you very much, Sam Wall.
I don't need to ask any more questions.
I'm just going to say he thought they might be higher than an 8 in September. And I said, I'll bet you a 3-wood on that.
Well, that's easy money.
Easy money.
Yeah.
Jump.
Well done.
And Sam, just remember, fast money makes fast friends.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, let's talk about the quarterfinals, and we're going to start at the top. The Chaska Community Center will be hopping on Thursday. Tony?
Matt Cook told me when they played earlier in the season there were
4-2.
1,700 people at that game for a November or early December game. 1,700 people were there.
And I'm going to go
How
out.
are they going to get
225?
Yeah, how are they going to get more than – you've been in this – how do you get –
Okay,
there can't
first
be many
off,
more.
You're going to have to park by the bubble. Just know that going into this.
Parking at the Super America.
Yeah. You're going to be walking down the hill, okay?
It's going to be like being a Lakeville game.
Yes, this is going to be painful. This rink barely sits 1,000. Barely with 3 deep standing room, okay? Barely.
How are they going to get more than 1,700 people in there? They're not.
This rink is extremely loud
and warm.
Yeah. This is going to be
that
ice
choo-choo train thing. Can you play the choo-choo train on a section game? Can you have any denotion of home game? I think you can.
Yes, you can in the quarters.
Yeah.
You can in the quarters. After that, it gets really sus, but you can in the quarters.
I know.
Because you have home ice advantage in most of this instance.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Bad ice is going to be a factor. 4-2 in the regular season. It was 4-1 until very late in the third period, and that's when Chan scored the second. It's going to be very, very competitive. Chanhassen's a 19-win team this year. They are a program that is on the rise. If you're a Chaska, you did not want to play these guys.
Last team they wanted. They would have preferred to play EP in the first round. I mean, I guarantee it.
Guarantee it. This is a scary, scary matchup.
Yeah. It's the scariest of them all, I think. First round scariest game by far. Not even close.
If you're Chaska's...
What day of the week is this one?
Thursday. Chaska's led by defenseman Sam Renzel, okay, as well as some very, very other talented players. Tony, who stands out on Chaska for you?
Chaska? Well, obviously Sam Sheets is one of their go-to guys, and he's only a sophomore. You know what I mean? Tanner Brunder's really good. It's a fun team. They're young. They have a really good system in place. I like their blue line a lot with Adam Kleber and Sam Renzel. I mean, they have 4D that really can kind of run the show. I think they're deeper. I think that Chanhassen might be a little bit quicker. They have more of a water bug style of play. Again, it's a rivalry game. It's kind of like we just got done with Lakeville North and Lakeville South on this show. It's a little bit like that. You know, it's not a very big suburb, but there's still plenty of good hockey in both suburbs to make it an entertaining game.
There are 16 players on Chanhassen with over 10 points.
Yeah. Water bugs, right?
Water bugs. That's something of no for a number 6 seed. When you have that much scoring across the board, that's dangerous because you don't always have an advantage when you go deeper and deeper too.
Right.
Okay. Anybody willing to take Chan in this game coming out of it? Carl?
I can't do it. No.
No.
I still think it's Chaska's. I agree. I think this game might be 5-4.
I kind of think Chaska might win this section.
Oh,
And this might be one of their
that.
hardest games.
This might be one of their hardest games
Yeah.
just because it's the rivalry factor.
Yeah. Agreed.
I think it's going to be a close game. It might be a 2-goal game at max.
I think if Chaska can beat Chan, they won't be intimidated by Tonka.
No.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I agree. I very much
And
agree.
same
with
for
that.
Chanhassen. Chanhassen they're not going to be intimidated by Tonka.
No.
They tied them.
Oh, they already tied them.
Yeah. This side of the bracket is really fun.
Yeah.
And don't discount Shakopee. They've played great the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and
Really good.
Shock is going to play Minnetonka, and Minnetonka's been playing well as well.
Yeah.
That's
Everybody's playing great except Eden Prairie and Jefferson.
and they're playing.
And they're playing each other.
Someone has to win that game.
Yes.
Yeah. And so let's talk about the Shakopee Minnetonka game.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a chance to see Minnetonka on Thursday this week. I liked Minnetonka. They're a good team. They're a very good skating team. That's what we expect out of Minnetonka. I think everything rides on their goaltending a lot. I think Motzko is a very key player for them.
Yeah,
both
absolutely.
emotional.
He hasn't been playing lately, though.
I forget who has been playing though. Then
Kaiser Nelson has.
there we go. Yes, Kaiser Nelson. Sorry, that's my bad on
Not
this.
Kaiser Soze.
Kaiser Sose.
I just had to get that out there.
Yes, and I think a lot rides through their goaltending. I think if you start to get onto Minnetonka early with goals, I think that's a difference maker on how they perform. Okay, this is a team that needs to be up to have confidence.
Agreed.
And so, does anybody think that this year's version of Shakopee can do it? I think next year's version of Shakopee is going to be much more dangerous than this year's.
No, I don't think they can beat Tonka.
I
think if the result with Eden Prairie been different, had Eden Prairie beaten Minnetonka 4-2, something like that this week,
Yeah.
and it was a 6-3 type of game, and you would have asked me, I would have went, yeah, I think Shakopee can beat them.
Yeah.
But right now, after hearing that Tonka EP score, I'm a little leery of picking an upset.
They're rolling.
Yeah.
Yep.
Holy Family Prior Lake is the 4-5. I was at this game to start the year, and that's when Holy Family
right.
showed that they can beat Prior Lake.
And they're not afraid of them.
They're not afraid.
Mm-hmm.
This game's at Dakota. The first game was at Dakota.
Didn't they play like 2 years ago in a 4-5 game and went to overtime?
Yeah,
or shootout or
no,
penalty shot or
Jackson
something?
Judding had a penalty shot
no.
in the third period.
Yeah,
I think he made it.
yeah.
I remember this clearly. There's video of that, and I think that was one of the difference makers for them too.
Yeah.
And I forget when that was. That could have been the
Like 2
case.
or 3 years ago, but I know it was the 4-5 game.
Yeah, I know it was the 4-5 game as well. It was at Dakota too.
Yep.
Yeah. It's hard to remember because Jackson Judding played for 8 years. So.
Right.
I know.
Right.
I think that Prior Lake has enough confidence right now to get out of this game, but I think they have to play 3 periods of hockey to do it, and they have to score at least 4 goals to do it. I think this is a team that at a minimum to get out of this section, every game has to be 4 goals offensively.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do need to score, which is hard in sections.
Yeah.
because everybody battens
over the
down the
past-
hatches.
Month or so, they've kind of cleaned up the bad losses. They're at least not doing that anymore.
That is
So,
very
yeah.
true. At the start of the year, it was so many question marks, and they just pretty much played Lakeville South to a 2-1 game. There was an empty netter in that.
Right.
Mhm.
And so they know what it's like to play close, but that game was so much different than sections. They were playing a lot looser. Those teams know each other. There was nothing on the line there.
Right.
So I think that Prior Lake comes out of this, though I truly, truly think that they only beat Holy Family if they play 3 periods of hockey.
I agree. I don't know much about Holy Family.
And Nick Blood is a very good player
Yeah.
for them. I really liked him when I saw them play. He stood out to me tremendously. But when I saw them play, they were wearing their black jerseys. Only 3 or 4 kids had names on the back.
That was the start of the year, though.
That was the start, but it just shows how much turnover there was coming in. So that's the kind of a note for me.
I'm with you on that.
And then Eden Prairie plays Bloomington Jefferson. If this game's not in running time, Sam, I'm sorry, but it should be.
No,
I don't know. If
you don't think so?
Running time. I think it's like a 6-1 game.
Okay.
You know, at the end.
Okay.
You know, I think that Jefferson will give them a little bit of a battle. Who knows? It's a weird game because the Metro West teams don't play a lot of Lake Conference teams.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen very often.
True.
No, that's true. Okay, we're going to start with the 12 o'clock game at Braemar. Okay, the 12 o'clock Braemar Trap game.
Always is.
Always is. This year, it's the 1-4, 1-5 game.
Yep.
So it's Eden Prairie, and we're thinking that they're playing Prior Lake.
Prior Lake. Oh.
We've seen this game before. Prior Lake has almost did it to Casey Middlestad.
Yep. Different. It's a completely different hockey game than that. It's no upstart.
So
you know,
let's kind of.
It's almost a favorite versus the upstart.
They're more talented.
Yeah.
I think the best team as an overall statement is EP in this section. The best team,
correct,
is EP. The best forward is Alex Bump.
Yeah.
And so now we have the best team versus the best forward, and I think the best team can do it here. I think that if you shut down Bump and they need to get secondary scoring for Prior Lake. They desperately need that against EP.
They definitely need to get some.
And they got
to get some Duber points.
They need 4 goals, okay? Because I'm going to go out on a limb and say Boshi might let 3 in. Okay,
right.
And I don't think most people from Prior Lake might agree to that.
All right, sticking to our golf analogy that we've had about these guys in the 14 handicap, right?
Yep.
I think if anybody can make birdies, and they're going to have to make birdies, Prior Lake can make birdies. They can score goals.
They can.
That's the only case I will make. But as far as chips are concerned, if I'm going to the casino, I'm not going to the $50 table with this hockey team.
So
I'm going to stick with Eden Prairie here.
One of our takes with the top 4.
A lot of analogies in that one little take.
There is a lot.
We're mixing our metaphors a bit here.
I think people follow them, though, if you're halfway smart.
One of our takes for the top 4 seeds in this section is it's such a 25-25-25 across the board. Even.
Yep.
Okay? So that makes it very, very difficult to predict, and it's even no matter who they are playing. So they could be playing each other. We'll get to 6AA, and I think that's a little bit different.
Yeah, higher grade.
Yeah, and so I still have to go with EP here. The
whole section or in this game?
In this game, I'm going EP.
I still think the winner's going to come out of that bottom part of the section. Chaska, Chanhassen, Shakopee, or Tonka. I think it'll come out of there.
I'm going to pick EP in the trap game. It's going to be very close.
Yep.
This game will be very exciting. If you're in the Metro, come to this game.
That's the game to come to.
Yeah.
No question.
It might not be as high level of hockey as you might see in Wayzata Edina.
Yeah.
But this is going to be one of the more fun games that you can possibly
Wayzata Edina is at 7 that night, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
And so I look at this. You have so many different storylines that Prior Lake can go to the section final. You have Lee Smith's last game on the line.
Yep.
Anything can happen.
Yep.
Carl, who do you got?
It's a really tough game, and I think it really comes down to how Prior Lake handles the pressure, because we know they've been building to this year for a long time. This is their big senior class. They'll be down a bit next year. The early returns of that pressure, in December were not great.
No.
And it's hard to trust the casino.
It really is.
Yep.
But I'm picking them anyway.
Yeah.
So we have 1 casino and
2 EPs.
2 EPs. Okay. Let's go to the bottom then.
Okay. Minnetonka will play Chaska, in our opinion, at 4 o'clock at Braemar.
Very good game.
Very good game. I think
This game, they've played this a couple times in the semis.
they have.
I know I saw Mike Kester's last game.
We also saw
Over
we
at
got for the
Braemar.
third period of the Bobby Brink game.
Yes.
And that propelled Minnetonka going forward.
In 2018.
Yep, and that was the 4:00 game as well.
Yep.
These two teams, did they play each other regular season, Carl?
Tonka
did.
and Chaska.
I'm pulling this up as well.
And Minnetonka won because that's why they got seated higher.
Yep. And so Minnetonka won 3-2 at Pagel. Okay. Shots were heavily in favor of Minnetonka, 39-13.
Mm-hmm.
What was the date of that game?
The date of this game, December 16th.
That's too early.
It's too
A while
early
ago.
to tell, and I think both teams are playing different levels of hockey right
Both
now.
are better.
Both are a lot better. I think you look at the Chaska, the recent win over Benilde is a huge win for them.
Yep.
And the win over EP for Minnetonka in that style, the 5-1 style, is an impressive win.
Yep. They made birdies.
They made birdies. And so
They made eagles.
Ah,
I've been waiting on that one.
yeah, okay. Like we said before, this runs with Sam Sheets and Sam Renzel. I think that
team.
I'm going to go Minnetonka here.
You guys gonna go traditionals?
I'm going to go traditional just based on what I just recently saw out of Minnetonka. I think they play a more playoff-ready style of hockey.
I'm gonna wait for Carl because I could go either way on this one.
Danny's just a Lake Conference.
Yes.
That was my
The
first.
169.
Thursday was my first and only Lake Conference
District
game
6,
of the year.
You know, just stick with the old
Yeah,
patented pick.
Okay, Carl.
but I agree with him, Tonka.
Okay.
Do you have any other reasoning other than what I said about Tonka?
I very much agree with what you said. I think they're deep. They have been playing really good hockey. They're just a solid squad. And
Where did they
they've
end
been
the
building.
rankings?
They
For,
got up to 13,
okay,
Who did?
Tonka.
Tonka did?
Tonka.
How about Chaska?
14.
14.
EP was down a spot to
EP
15.
made some bogeys in there.
15.
15 now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
15.
Yep.
that's about right.
Yep.
The Chaska head coach listens to the show.
Matt
and
Cook.
he hates us because we keep picking against them or keeping them lower ranked. He goes, keep doing it. So I'll do him a favor and go chalk as well with you guys and pick Tonka to win. So I don't believe in Chaska. I don't believe in Matt Coach's coaching style or abilities. He's not any good. He clearly knows nothing about the game, and his players stink. Right? Is that what he wants? I'm just giving him what he wants to hear.
Just
right?
feeding it. Feed that chalkboard
Just
material.
Throw some logs onto that fire.
It's very sincere. Tony's
Terrible. They can't play.
Matt
I'm
Cook should be
certain they-
fired.
Yeah.
This is
not
a
any
program on the
Yeah,
decline.
it's a decline. The wolves are at the door, you know. No, I can't decide, but I'm like, let's just pour it on here. And
Okay.
say, I think Tonka, that 5-1 win over EP, let's stay chalk and go all in on Minnetonka.
Okay, Minnetonka it comes out on our side of the bracket. Carl does not have the bottom side. Gun to your head, who does everybody have?
For who's going to win this?
Who's going to win the section? It doesn't matter based on what we've chosen right now because it's so 25, 25, 25.
I'm going Chaska.
Pick them to lose.
I picked them to lose in the semis, but they're going to state.
Is there a back door I don't know about?
There's a back door.
The 2AA backdoor team this year. There were years in the 6AA when, when it was Benilde, Edina, actually when Edina was on the other side.
Two.
When Minnetonka was in 6.
Yeah.
There should have been a backdoor from one of those two teams.
Yeah. Yeah.
The loser of 6AA and 2AA
Gets the
should have
3A.
played.
No, the loser of 6AA should have gotten the 3A entrance.
Yes.
Into the Class A tournament.
Into the
A.
Class A tournament.
Yeah. It was so deep those years. Remember Burnsville and Jefferson teams those years? They'd get smoked by Edina, and they were like,
Yeah.
5th in the state.
They had Brock Besser. They had Timu.
They were so deep.
They had
teams.
NHLers.
Yes.
Caleb Herbert. Yeah.
They
Caleb
had Jack
Herbert.
Sean.
Yeah, they were deep.
Yeah.
Deep teams.
Okay, Carl, gun to your head. Who do you have?
Prior Lake.
Really?
I did it. I did it.
I
that
will.
was daring.
How'd that feel? Oh, jeez.
Risky. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna go Minnetonka.
Oh, good.
Just-
None of us like Eden Prairie.
Yeah. I'm not
Par.
I will.
Bogeys,
Par
man.
doesn't win sections.
Yeah, Powers does not win sections. You got to make some birdies.
Something of note. We said the semifinals happen on Saturday.
Mhm.
The final will be on Wednesday at Braemar. It's not at Mariucci. It is at Braemar.
Yeah, I will not be there. I will be north. I'll be in the 218 somewhere. I'm still trying to figure out.
Where? Okay.
Where?
Save that for Northern Talk because that was 2AA.